how first 10 verses Krishna spoke about how he comes in this world to teach the dharma, and then how there are different paths which Krishna has made. The different paths are there. The path of demigod worship, the path of karma yoga, the path of jnana yoga. So all these different paths, they all they are all paths created by Krishna. And out of them now Krishna is recommending Arjuna to do what? You know, Krishna is telling Arjuna to follow the path of karma yoga. He should follow the dharma of performing the karma yoga. And how by performing the karma yoga, he can also achieve liberation. And many people in the past have also, they have also got liberation by the performance of the karma yoga. So that was the theme of the third section. And not only karma yoga, but even there are there are other kinds of yagyas by which one can perform, one can get the jnana. So see, karma yoga is also a kind of sacrifice. So, so if he will perform the karma yoga, then he will also be able to get elevated to the knowledge. And same way, there are many other ways. There are many other yagyas also which can be performed by which there can be a cultivation of the jnana, which means the transcendental knowledge. So then Krishna described about the different kinds of sacrifices, different kind of the yagyas. Like there is a yagya in which a person may give charity. There is a yagya in which performance of the austerity or studying of the scriptures. They are all different types of the yagyas. So by doing all these different yagyas, one can get the jnana. Jnana means one can get the spiritual knowledge. And what is that spiritual knowledge? One can get understanding about one's own self, that how I'm not the body, I'm the Atma. And one can also get understanding about the absolute. One may understand that there is some absolute, and he may understand the absolute at different levels, maybe as the Brahma Jyoti, or as a Paramatma, or as a Bhagavan. So this is what it means to be the transcendental knowledge or the jnana. So the awakening of the jnana means what? The awakening of the knowledge about our constitutional position and the position of the absolute truth. So one may understand about that. That is called as the jnana. So of course, one good question has come about yagyas. That when we say about yagyas, so does it mean that all the things which are mentioned in the shastras, they only can be told as a yagyas? So yesterday I have kept some time to research upon it, but I got a little busy. But today I will take it down time. Tomorrow surely I will be able to confirm about this. No? So, whether the yagyas are only those activities which are mentioned in the Vedas, or there are some other activities also which can be considered as a yagya. So this is something which needs to be clarified. Tomorrow we'll discuss about it. Now today let us move to the last section of this chapter, where we are going to learn about that Krishna, after describing that how the different yagyas, the different sacrifices which can be done and which will lead to the transcendental knowledge. Now Krishna is going to describe, first he's going to describe that how one can get this transcendental knowledge, what is the procedure, and then further Krishna will describe about the what is the glory of this transcendental knowledge, Now how it is glorious, why it is glorious, what is going to be the result of getting this transcendental knowledge in one's life. So this is the theme of the last part of the section. So let us go to the 34th shloka, which is very famous shloka, where Krishna is telling about how one can get the transcendental knowledge, this jnana. स्क्रीन दिख रहा है ना हम सब आप लोगों को?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, good. So here is a very famous shloka we all know, 4.34. That Krishna is telling about how one can get the knowledge or jnana. Because previous to this shloka, Krishna has told about this, you see. Sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So by doing different sacrifices, one will be able to get the transcendental knowledge. Now, how one will be able to exactly get that knowledge, that is being expressed here. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Right? Tad vidhi. Tad means what? The spiritual knowledge, the jnana. Vidhi means to know. If you want to know that jnana, the divya gyan, then what one should do? One should do three things. One has to do pranipad, one has to do pariprashna, and one has to do sevaya. Now, for whom? For someone who is a tattvadarshi. So, right? So three things are required if you want to get the jnana. First thing is pranipad. Pranipad means what? Prabhupada is translated as approaching a spiritual master, right? Or pranipad also means humility. No. So humbly one should approach a spiritual master. Okay, humbly one should be humble. One should be humble. This is the first quality. Second is pariprashnena. One should be inquisitive, and one should do seva. One should perform. One should be ready to. One should be ready to render service to the service. To whom? To the तत्वदर्शी. तत्वदर्शी मीन्स जिन लोगों ने तत्व को देखा है, जिन लोगों को रियलाइजेशन है एब्सोल्यूट ट्रुथ का. Those who have got realization in their life of the supreme, that is called as the tattvadarshis. So they are the gyani, gyaninas, tattvadarshinas. Those who are gyaninas, those who have the knowledge, those who have seen the truths. One should go, one should humbly surrender to them, one should ask from them, one should render service to them, and they can do what? Updekshanti te jnanam. They can give this jnanam. They can give upadesh. They can give the upadesh of this jnanam, because they are jnaninas, because they are having that knowledge, and they have got realization of that knowledge, realization of the absolute truth. So this is being spoken here in this shloka. Right? So you see here these three verses. So these three things are very important. So there's a nice article by Chetan Jain Prabhu in his website. I'll just show you. He mentions about these three things very nicely. You see, he says, this is an article, tap his grace by humbleness, inquisitiveness, and service-mindedness. दिख रहा है ना?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, visible.
See, he says that how? One of you can read the coach.
The coach is often the most important shaper of an athlete's success. The systematic and sympathetic guidance of a coach is indispensable for an aspiring athlete. When we start practicing spiritual life, we become spiritual athletes. Like material athletes, we too need a coach. The spiritual coach, known usually as the guru, is all the more essential on the spiritual path because the journey is mostly internal and the terrain not easily perceivable. The guru,
Terrain means the path. Terrain means the path. Okay. So because the spiritual life it's an internal journey. We have to draw our consciousness within our true self, within the Atma, and our relationship with the Supreme. So that's why it's the internal journey. So even for external journeys, we do need some coaches. So what to speak of the internal journey? Okay, go ahead.
the guru, the Bhagavad Gita 4.34 states, is the seer of truth, Tattvadarshi. Due to having made the journey and linked with Krishna's supreme vision, the Guru can clearly show us what we can barely see. To
Yes,
yes, brother.
good, good. Go ahead.
To ensure that the Guru becomes an effective channel of Krishna's vision, we need to center our relationship with him on this Gita verses 3-point guideline. This guideline can be presented by the acronym HIDS: humbleness, inquisitiveness, service mindedness. So, first is humbleness, pranipatena. As we can't discern the internal landscape, we need indispensably an attitude of humbleness. I don't know the way you do. Please be my guide. Then, second, inquisitiveness, pariprashnena. This injunction of the Gita indicates that it calls not for blind faith in the name of humbleness, but for a development of our capacity for spiritual perception. By this perception, we start seeing for ourselves what the Guru is seeing. Third, service mindedness, sevaya. The destination of our spiritual journey is the realization that loving service to Krishna is our only source of lasting fulfillment. We progress towards that realization by serving Krishna as per the Guru's instructions. Thus, his grace words in three progressive steps. Humbleness enables the Guru to show us the way. Inquisitiveness enables us to start seeing the way ourselves, and service mindedness enables us to move along the way.
So very beautifully Prabhuji has explained here, you see. It is the last part, that how humbleness enables the Guru to show us the way, right? So we need humility to understand that how we don't know, we don't know the right ways of life, right? So if we have humility, then only we can inquire about it. So no, it helps the Guru to show us the right way. Okay, so Guru shows us that okay, you don't know, but this is the path. This is how you should move. And then no, no, once the Guru is showing us a path, then we also inquire further, and we also develop our spiritual capacity. By inquiry, we also develop a spiritual capacity to see the things the way Guru is showing. So that is the inquisitiveness. It enables us to start seeing the way ourselves. So Guru is telling that this is the path, and now when we follow the process, then what happens? We will be also able to see the path ourselves. We will be also able to have these realizations in our life, that how my goal is to serve Krishna and from the spiritual world. So we get a spiritual capacity to see the path, you know, and and just seeing the path is not sufficient. What has to be done? No, we have to also follow the path. Service mindedness enables us to move along the path, right? Now, so we get the knowledge, we are able to get the knowledge, and then we also practice that knowledge in our life. Then what happens is then we get close to the realizations. Like we know that how Guru tells us that how we are souls, we are part and parcel of Krishna. And he also gives us some processes to chant Hare Krishna, to do the morning program. So when we do this process, then what will happen? We will also be able to have the realization of this. That's how it is there. This is very important. These three principles are very important. Prabhupada often quotes about this shloka. We find many times. So that's why if you want to follow the transcendental path, we always need to have a spiritual guru. So see, even if somebody wants to follow the path of Jnana Yoga, he has to have a Jnani guru. Somebody wants to follow the path of yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, he has to have Ashtanga Yogi guru. Somebody wants to follow the path of Bhakti Yoga, one has to have a Bhakti Yogi guru. This is very important. Pranipatena means humbleness. I don't know the way. It's just like, you approach a doctor and you ask a doctor that, okay, what is wrong? I'm not able to understand what is wrong with me. And then the doctor will help you to understand that what is wrong with you. And Pariprasthena means what? To inquire and develop spiritual capacity to see things as seen by the Guru. So we have to inquire from the Guru, and so that we can also develop a capacity to understand the spiritual knowledge. Yeah. Service of Krishna as per the direction given to the Guru. So the Guru's responsibility is to engage in service of Krishna. And you see, when we do service to Krishna, see, we say na, Jive Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. So how we can have the realization of this? No, when we serve Krishna, then we will be able to have solid realization that how only by serving Krishna is my only duty, and only by serving Krishna I will get full complete fulfillment and satisfaction in my life. That's the aspect of seva. So, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Prabhupada is writing the purport. Prabhupada is writing, the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. ना? जो स्पेशलाइजेशन का पाथ है वो डिफिकल्ट पाथ है. So of course bhakti is easier. Bhakti is easier. So bhakti is easier in what sense? Means out of all the paths which are there, the path of Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, Karma Yoga, Out of all of them, bhakti is the easier path. But in general, if you say as an overall, any spiritual path, if you say, or the path of spiritualization, then it is surely a difficult path. Why? Because we have so many contaminations, we have desires, we have false ego, we have desire to enjoy in this material world. What is mentioning, see? One of you please read blue part.
Mental
Mental
speculation. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind towards the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect.
So it's a very, very important purport. But is mentioning, see how spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. Full surrender means what? No, whatever the special master is mentioning, it should be seen as the Veda Vakya. It should be seen as the Vakya of the Shastras. This is one thing. Also, unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the spiritual master will not be effective. Okay. So if somebody just inquires, somebody just put questions, but he's not in the mood, in the service attitude mode, then he will not be able to gain benefit from that inquiry. Also, one must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. So what is the test? That whether one is a genuine seeker or not. When he is a genuine seeker, then he will be able to get benefited. Just like Dhruv Maharaj, Nard Muni also tested Dhruv Maharaj, to see that whether he is really serious or not. That's a guru's business. And in general, guru is also very kind towards the disciple. So here some crucial points. See regarding parampara. So when we say parampara, right now, so parampara it says it's a link not just of the head, but a link of the hearts. So like a guru is there, so guru is engaging in the service of Krishna, and what happens is a guru presents the example for a disciple by engaging himself in the service of the Lord, and that inspiration to serve the Lord that is being transferred from the heart of the guru to the heart of the disciple. That's the main thing. So when we say parampara, it's more of a heart, that how the service attitude or the devotional service of the guru, and that the principle of devotional service to Krishna is transferred from the heart of the guru to the disciple. It's not just of the head. What does it mean? Link not just of the head. Head means knowledge. It's not that, like, it's not that as it is. And when we say parampara means everything should come as it is. Doesn't mean that the same way it will be there. Like, for example, like Prabhupada books are there. Now, if you see the books of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, you'll find the way the presentation is there by Srila Bhakti Thakur, and the mood which is there, that you may find different than Prabhupada. The presentation may be different. So as it is, it does not mean that the same type of presentation will be there, right? But the principle will be same. Principle is what? The principle of devotion service to Krishna. And that may need to be updated as per the time, place, and the circumstance. This is what. A guru inspires a disciple how? By his own devotional service, by his own engagement in the devotional service. Now he inspires a disciple with devotional service. That is the thing. That is the meaning of parampara. Also, it says piety transforms into spirituality when there is a connection to the guru and a commitment to the process. You see, in India, most of the people are pious people. Do good, be good, worship God, go to the temples, like that. Pious. So most of the people are pious. But piety will only lead you to some good things in this mortal life. But when does it become spirituality? It becomes spirituality when what happens is when one gets the connection with a proper guru, with a bona fide guru, and one also starts following the process given by the guru with commitment. Then it becomes a spiritual, because then it will lead to some spiritual goal in one's life. Uh, unless it is not happening, one is not having any spiritual goal in one's life. Unless one does not come in the touch with a bona fide guru, then what will happen? His piety will only give him some pious credits, some punya karma in this material world. But when one comes across a guru and agrees to follow some of the orders of the guru, then what happens? Then he will get a spiritual results. His spiritual journey begins. Also, see gurus. Some other about regarding guru's role. The guru does not come in between us and God, but he removes what is between us and God. That is the wall of our false ego. Sometimes people think that, I am there and Krishna is there and I will have direct relationship with Krishna, right? Many people in India, they don't say that. Nowadays, all the more because so many bogus people are there even in the spirituality. People lose a lot of faith and they think that, let me directly go to the temples, let me directly worship the God, and that is good enough. I don't have to be, I don't have to commit to someone or surrender to someone like that. And why there's a need of the guru, people think. But it's not that the guru is coming between us and Krishna. No, rather he is the one who helps us to become connected with Krishna. He removes what is causing us an obstacle to connect with Krishna, right? So like right now, no, being a conditioned soul, we are covered with false ego. We are covered with many false desires, material desires. We are in our domains of I and mind. We want only sense gratification. So all these impurities are there, by which we cannot directly approach Krishna. The Guru is the one who helps us to remove all these impurities, the false ego, and he helps to make Krishna accessible to us. That's the duty of the Guru. Sometimes he who is his own Guru has a fool as his disciple. So someone who thinks that, oh, there's no need of Guru. Like sometimes people think that, no, there's no need of the Guru. People say, no. If you're saying that there's no need of the Guru, means you are again trying to become a Guru of the other people. So what is the difference? You are telling that don't accept any other Guru. But by saying this and telling or ordering people to do this, you are again trying to become a Guru. So no, it's not that one should not have a Guru, but one should have a bona fide Guru. That's the point. And if somebody is not following a Guru, then he is simply a fool. And his disciples are also going to be fool only. Here is a very interesting point. Why Krishna does not directly guide us? See, why Krishna has made this system that, we have to approach Krishna through some devotees, you see. So because it's a way Krishna wants to reward and glorify his devotees in this world. You see, those who are pure devotees of Krishna, they don't want anything in this world except the loving service of Krishna. So Krishna is going to give them the ultimate reward of again taking them back to Godhead. But that is in that world. But even in this world, Krishna very much appreciates his pure devotees, and he wants to reward them. He wants to glorify them. That's why Krishna has made this system that Krishna has made these devotees as an exclusive authority. So see, this material world is like a prison house. It's a jail. So what is the most important thing in a prison house? The most important thing in a prison house is that one should try to get out of the jail. And for that, what does mean? One needs a key. तो जो जेल का की होता है वो ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है जेल में उसको निकालने के लिए. वैसे जो मटल वर्ड से बाहर निकालने का जो की है, दैट इज स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज, दैट इज भक्ति. So Krishna has made the in charge to his pure devotees only, so that they can become more and more glorified, and that is how Krishna rewards them in this world also. So that's why the system is there. So this is very important, that how one has to accept a guru in one's life. Then one will be able to cross over all the challenges and obstacles in one's spiritual journey. This is the meaning of Shabda Praman, accepting the guidance of the Parampara, the Shastras and the Guru. Our life should not be based upon the Pratyaksha and the Anuman. In device, discover yourself itself. In second, third session itself, we say that. how we only established that how Pratish Praman is not appropriate, not complete. Anuman Praman is also not appropriate, complete. Sabda Praman is the highest, right? Which means, hearing from the Vedas, following the Shastras. But in our life also, you'll find sometimes, or many of the times, we have to see that how much our life is being guided by the Guru, Sadhu, and the Shastras. In the Bhagavatam, we see that these three things, Vipras means the devotees, the Brahmanas. Dharma means the religious duties, the religious principles. And Achyut means Lord Krishna. So there it is being mentioned that how if somebody will if somebody will follow these three things in one's life, if somebody will follow the Lord, somebody will follow the dharma, that is one's religious duties, and one will follow the devotees in one's life, then one will have no setbacks. Then whatever will happen in his life, that will be all auspicious. That will take him towards the liberation in one's life. It's very important that one should be guided by the Guru. One should take guidance from the Guru. And we should approach a guru with a desire to serve. So in our life also, we may not have direct access to the gurus, but those are representatives of the gurus. We should have the same attitude towards them also, the attitude of humility, inquiry, and service. Then we will be able to have best benefit of our spiritual life. Now next shloka. Now Krishna is going to describe in the next three shlokas about what is going to be the benefit of this knowledge. What is going to be the result of getting this knowledge, the transcendental knowledge. Okay. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पांडव येन भूतानि अशेषानि द्रक्ष्यसि आत्मनि अथो मयि. तो यहाँ पे दो दो रिजल्ट्स बता रहे हैं यहाँ पे भगवान क्या होगा. यज ज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम. तो दिस इज द फर्स्ट रिजल्ट. by knowing this knowledge, right, by knowing this knowledge, what will happen? Na punarmoham. One will not again fall into illusion. Evam yasyasi pandava. And yena bhutani aseshani dakshasi atmani athomai. And second thing what will happen is bhutani means the living beings. Now ashesh means unlimited. So by this knowledge what will happen is one will be able to dakshasi means one will be able to see. One will be able to see what? Asheshani bhutani, the unlimited living entities. One will be able to see that how all of them, they belong to Krishna. They're all coming from Krishna and they all belong to Krishna. Atmani athomai. See, Atmani means what? Here the Atmani is used for what? In the supreme soul. Means in Krishna. And athuyu, athayu. Mai means again me. Right? So one will be able to see that how all the living beings are in me only. Yen bhutani aseshani dakshasi atmani athomai. Mai means mine. No, they are mine. Having obtained the real knowledge from the self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusions. One thing is, one will become free from the illusions, moha. For by this knowledge, you will see that all the living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, they are mine. So these two things will happen by this knowledge. One will be able to get rid of the illusions, right? So what are the illusions? The illusion of the illusion of false ego, the illusion of trying to be enjoyers, proprietors, controllers, the illusion of considering oneself as the material body and remaining in the domain of I and mine. So all these illusions, which are because of the bodily conception of life or the material conception of life, one will be able to get rid of these illusions in one's life. And not only that, one will be also able to see that how everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. How everyone are mine. See, this is the first time in the Bhagavad Gita. See, before this, in the second chapter, Krishna has told about how the Atma is there and it is transmigrating. But this is the first time where Krishna stated how all the living entities, they are belonging to me. Of course, further chapters also Krishna says, that, what is it? Mame vamsho jiva loke jiv bhuta sanatana. That how the living entities are my part and parcel. Again, further he will claim in other chapters. But in the first time, Krishna said that they are mine. These aseshani bhutani, this unlimited living entities, they all belong to me. They are my part and parcel. This is what Krishna is confirming here. So when we get spiritual knowledge, he will be able to have these two things. He will be able to be freed from the illusions, and he will be able to have a spiritual vision. That's the meaning. He will be able to have a spiritual vision by which he will be able to see all the jivatmas in connection with Krishna. Not only all jivatmas, but everything of the creation in connection with Krishna, rather. That's how it is going to be happening. See, now, here in this context, particularly what Krishna is trying to explain to Arjuna, that you see, Arjuna, you are telling that you are bothering about the Kauravas, about your teachers, about Vishnu Pitama, etc. But, understand that, they all also belong to me. I'm also concerned about them. I'm also having compassion for them. So this war will happen, that will be for their good only. Because they're my part and parcel, I'm also bothered about them. I'm also concerned about them. Okay. That's what Krishna is mentioning here. So these will be the two results. Okay. One will be able to be freed from the moha, and one will be able to have a spiritual vision in one's life. It's some part of the purport. Let us read. Here purport, purport. See, what is the Maya? Prabhupada is defining. The sense of an existence separate from Krishna is called as Maya. Ma means not, and Ya means this. Maya means something which is not. So what it appears, but it is actually not. Just like in the material world, it appears that there is happiness, but there is no happiness. That's why it's called Maya. So the sense of existence separate from Krishna. When we don't see the connection with Krishna, then it becomes Maya. But when we see everything in relationship with Krishna, then it is no more Maya. That's the point. So how? So the whole existence is having connection with Krishna. So this is the meaning of the spiritual vision. Same way, even the millions of the incarnations are only his different expansions. Similarly, the living entities are also expansions of Krishna. See, this is again the knowledge that how even the different incarnations also coming from Krishna only, and all the jivatmas are also part and parcel of Krishna. When you're able to see these things, Prabhupada towards the end he's telling, see, when however such deluded living entities become situated in Krishna consciousness, it is to be understood that they are on the path of liberation, as confirmed in the Bhagavatam, right? So Bhagavatam says, what is the meaning of liberation? Mukti. So the Bhagavatam defines about the mukti. Muktir hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. Liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as the eternal servant of Krishna. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 2.10.6. Right? Mukti का क्या मतलब होता है? तिर hitva anyatha rupam, which means what? Hitva anyatha rupam. Right? One should be able to give up anya rupam. Anya rupam means what? One considers himself as a male, female, Indian, Pakistani, right? Or rich, poor, educated, uneducated, intelligent, fool. All these things are the external designations. Anyatha rupam. Anyatha rupam, right? The other rupas which we are doing right now. So giving up those anyatha rupam and swarupena vyavasthiti, right? And becoming vyavasthit. Vyavasthit means, situated. In what? Our own swarupa. In our original position. The original position is what? We are servants of Krishna. So this is the meaning of mukti, right? So that is what Krishna is mentioning, that how by gaining this knowledge, one will be able to have this Sarupena Vyavasthiti, one will be able to come to this realization that how I am a servant of Krishna and everyone is a servant of Krishna, everyone is a children of Krishna. This thing will happen. Okay. Next shloka. Next, what will be the result? Api chedasi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamah sarvam jnana सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनेव वृजिनं संतरिष्यसि. Further Krishna is saying, Api ched asi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamah sarvam jnanaplaveneva vrijinam santarishyasi. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all the sinners, when you are situated in the boat of the transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Right? Api ched asi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamah. Right? इवन कोई अगर बहुत बड़ा सिनर भी क्यों ना होगा, बहुत सारा सिंफुल एक्टिविटी करने वाला व्यक्ति भी क्यों नहीं होगा, लेकिन अगर वो इस ज्ञान के बोट में बैठेगा ना, इफ somebody will take to this transcendental knowledge, just like जैसे मान लीजिए ओशन में आप हैं, तो ओशन में आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? अगर ओशन को क्रॉस करना है तो बोट में बैठना पड़ेगा, तो उसे बता रहे कि इवन कोई अगर बहुत सिनर भी क्यों ना हो, स्टिल अगर वो भी इस ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज को एक्सेप्ट करेगा अपने लाइफ में, एक्सेप्ट करना मतलब कि उसको समझना, उसको फॉलो करना, देन व्हाट विल हैपन, ही विल बी आल्सो एबल टू get rid of all the miseries of life. No? Because of the sinful activities, what karma one has accumulated, what one deserves, what miseries one deserves, one will be able to get rid of all the miseries just by taking to this transcendental knowledge. It is what Krishna is mentioning. You see here one important thing, see here it says, where we are and where we are looking. See, these two things are different things, where we are and where we are looking. So just like you see, out of these two, which is more important is where we are looking, right? And where we are, it may not matter so much, but where we are looking is more important, right? For example, like you see, now when Prabhupada went to America, so before that, Prabhupada was trying to preach in India. Now see, in India, if you see the Indians, we being Indians, we are more close to the Vedic culture. We are more close to the goodness, right? But in spite of that, you will find Prabhupada was having a difficulty for preaching to the Indians. Why? Because even though they were having this goodness, they were having more closeness with the Vedic knowledge, but they were looking towards what? They were looking towards the Western ways of life. They were looking towards sense gratification of the Western world, right? So that's why it was difficult for Prabhupada to give them. But now see, when Prabhupada went to America, he gave this knowledge to the hippies. So now if you see hippies, now they were situated deeply into the modes of the passion and the ignorance, right? And they were having no touch with the Vedic culture. But still, when Prabhupada showed them the way, Prabhupada showed them about Krishna consciousness, they were ready to take to this knowledge. And that's why they could become very sincere, serious, and they could become very devoted. So that's why one may be in whatever position, but that does not matter so much how much, what matters more is that now what is your ambition? What is your, where you are looking. So even if somebody is very, very sinful, but still if he is open to take the transcendental knowledge, then he can very easily cross over the ocean of miseries. That's what is being told. So here it is being told as a boat. तो यहाँ पे जो ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज है उसको किसके साथ में कंपेयर किया गया है, उसको किया गया है बोट के साथ में कंपेयर किया गया है. तो जो ये ज्ञान भी है, it is also like a boat which can help you to get rid of the miseries of the ocean of the miseries of this material life. That's it, right? Other places also we find in Bhagavatam, the human body is also compared to the boat. How human body is also like a boat, and it can help a person to get rid of the material miseries. Right? Yesterday, Nirmalikesh was mentioning a very beautiful point. Was mentioning, suppose you are in the midst of an ocean, and suppose someone comes and he gives you a boat, but he makes a condition that you have this boat only for some 60-70 hours. After 70 hours, this boat will be taken from you. So you see, in those 70 hours, if you can cross the ocean and can reach to the beach, then it's wonderful. Otherwise, this boat will be taken from you after 70 hours. So now suppose if somebody is put into this situation, then what he will do? He will just try to reach to the shore. He will try his best to ride the boat and to reach to the shore. He will not be bothered about the other obstacles. वहां पे तूफान आ गया, मान लीजिए ओशन में तूफान आ गया, या बीच में मान लीजिए कोई गर्लफ्रेंड आ गई, या फिर बीच में कुछ रेस्टोरेंट आ गया, राइट? वो सबको कुछ भाव नहीं देगा. वो जाएगा, सीधा जाना है, उसको शोर पे पहुंचना है, राइट? सेम वे हमको भी जो ये बोट मिला ह्यूमन बॉडी का, इट इज फॉर अनदर 60-70 years of our life. And it is up to us that how much seriousness we want to follow, with how much seriousness we want to follow spiritual life. If we follow sincerely, seriously, then we can cross over this middle ocean. Otherwise, after 60-70 years, this boat will be taken from us. And if we have not practiced spiritual life, then we'll have to again go down in the lower species of life. So it's important, Prabhupada is also making, this middle world is sometimes regarded as the ocean of nescience and sometimes as a blazing forest. In the ocean, however expert a swimmer one may be, the struggle for the existence is very severe. See, Prabhupada is mentioning a point, right? Bhava Sagar. Why this world is compared as a Bhava Sagar, ocean? Why? Because see, just like suppose an ocean is there, however expert one may be, one cannot cross the ocean because there's the length and the breadth of the ocean is unlimited. आप भले एक्सपर्ट स्विमर भी क्यों ना हो, बट आप उसको क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते हो. तो वैसे ही इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में भी क्या है, इट्स नॉट सो इजी टू गेट आउट ऑफ दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. आप एक्सपर्ट वन स्विमर में भी, but if someone comes forward and lifts the struggling swimmer from the ocean, he is the greatest savior. So the guru can do this kind of job. Guru can give us the knowledge and he can take us, from this ocean of the material world. Okay, next shloka. यथेधांसि सम यथेधांसि समिद्धोग्निर् भस्मसात् कुरुते अर्जुन ज्ञानाग्नि सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा. Again, Krishna is giving one more example, right? So, इससे पहले में Krishna gives the example of a boat. That this knowledge is like a boat, which can take one beyond all the miseries of the life. Okay, even the most sinner person can also get rid of the miseries of the life. Now, Krishna is giving the another example here. Yathe dhamsi, dhamsi means firewood. Agnir, right? Just like there is a fire, just like there is a fire in the firewood, just like the fire can burn the firewood. Bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Just like the firewood is burnt to the ashes by the fire, same way what happens? Jnana agni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Same way, all one's karmas, जो भी व्यक्ति के सारे कर्म कर रखे हैं, पाप कर्म, पुण्य कर्म, ये सब क्या हो जाते हैं? ज्ञानाग्नि भस्मसात कुरुते, है ना. जो ज्ञान की जो अग्नि होती है, ये जो ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज जो अवेकन होगी व्यक्ति में, वो क्या करेगी? व्यक्ति को सारे जो उसके पुराने कर्म है, सिंफुल रिएक्शंस हैं, पायस रिएक्शंस हैं, सबसे उसको फ्री कर देती है. राइट, दिस इज another benefit of this transcendental knowledge. Once a person gets the realization of this knowledge that I am a soul, I'm supposed to serve Krishna, then what will happen? If somebody gets this realization, of course, when we say realization means what? It's not simply a theoretical understanding. It means that he will act also upon that knowledge. So once one gets this understanding and one acts upon this understanding, then what will happen? One will immediately become freed from all one's sarva karmani, from all the material actions and the reactions. Which means he will no more do any material actions, because he will not get reactions for the actions which he will do now. And also the previous actions which he has done and the previous reactions which are awaiting, the pap and the punya reactions, he will become freed from the effect of all of them also. That's another benefit of this thing. As a blazing fire turns firewood to the ashes, Arjuna, so does the fire of the knowledge burn to ashes all the reactions to the material activities. While writing, when one is in the complete knowledge, all the reactions, both a priori and a posteriori, are consumed. Right? पहले वाली और अभी की सब खत्म हो जाती हैं reactions. In the Vedas, बृहद अरण्यक उपनिषद 4:422, it is stated, उभे वैसे एते तरति अमृत साध्व असाधुनी. साध्व एंड असाधुनी, राइट, मतलब पायस एज वेल एज इम्पायस, दोनों रिएक्शंस खत्म हो जाती हैं. If somebody gets awakened in this knowledge, then उसके पाप और पुण्य कर्म दोनों के दोनों खत्म हो जाते हैं. That's the beauty of this knowledge, because only we are suffering in this world because of those previous sinful reactions only. But by the awakening of this knowledge and realization, one will be able to become free from all one's karmas, prarabdha karmas, aprarabdha karmas, kutam, bijam, right? Oh, you will read it more in the NOD book, Nectar of Devotion, how there's a kutam, bijam, papam, prarabdha, aprarabdha, right? All this cycle is there by which one suffers. So once this knowledge is being awakened, then one becomes freed from those karmas. See, इसमें भी कर्मा में भी क्या होता है ना, थोड़ा सा जस्ट एक चीज में बता देता हूँ आपको. दिस कॉल्ड है प्रारब्ध कर्मा. प्रारब्ध कर्मा मीन्स इस वर्ल्ड में, इस पर्टिकुलर लाइफ टाइम में जो हमारे लिए सुख और दुख ऑलरेडी निर्धारित हो चुके हैं, देयर कॉल्ड एज अ प्रारब्ध कर्मा. एंड अप्रारब्ध कर्मा मतलब कि जो बाकी लाइफ टाइम्स पे जो आना लिखा है, अभी अगले लाइफ टाइम्स के लिए जो हमारे पास में बचे हैं सारे स्टॉक. तो जब हम लोग भक्ति करते हैं, मतलब साधना भक्ति जब हम करते हैं, तो व्हेन यू आर डूइंग साधना भक्ति राइट नाउ, तो कृष्णा रिमूव्स ऑल अवर देयर कॉल्ड एज अप्रारब्ध कर्मा. जो अगले लाइफ टाइम्स में जो आने वाले थे वो सब अभी भगवान हटा देते हैं. और जो प्रारब्ध कर्मा होते हैं, इस लाइफ टाइम में जो हमारे सुख दुख लिखे हैं, उसको भगवान रखते हैं. बट कृष्णा कीप्स इन अ वे दैट वी कैन प्रैक्टिस स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ स्मूथली. Krishna will not allow any of our karmas which are like very much, which may cause a very serious obstacle in our path of the bhakti. Sadhana bhakti ke stage pe Krishna removes only those prarabdha karmas which are, which can be very much obstructing to our devotional service. But once you come to the prema bhakti, अगर आप जब प्रेम भक्ति पे इवन इस लाइफ टाइम में अगर प्रेम भक्ति के लेवल पे आ जाते हो तो इवन कृष्ण आपके प्रारब्ध कर्म भी खत्म कर देते हैं भगवान. राइट. Anyways, it's a different topic. You'll get an elaborate understanding about it in MOD. For the time being, the thing is that how the karmas, one becomes freed from the karmas. One does not get reactions to one's karmas. And also the previous karmas, the previous sessions also one gets freed from them. When this knowledge is being awakened. This is what is another gift of the knowledge. Now, like last shloka, Krishna is now summarizing the the gains of the transcendental knowledge. न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योग संसिद्धः कालेन आत्मनि विन्दति. Krishna is now telling, न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह विद्यते. There is nothing more purifying than this jnana. Pavitram iha vidyate. In this world, there is nothing more which can be more purifying than this knowledge. जो ये ज्ञान है, जो ये ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज है, इससे ज्यादा कोई पवित्र वस्तु नहीं है इस पूरे जगत में, ऐसा वो भगवान बता रहे हैं ना. सदृशम पवित्रम इह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योग संसिद्ध कालीन आत्मनि विन्दति. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as a transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all the mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of this devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in the due course of time. What will happen? Tat swayam yoga samsiddhi kalin atmani vindati. What will happen? Prabhupada is translating. See, what will happen? One who has become accomplished, siddhi means what होता है? सिद्धि मीन्स परफेक्शन. राइट. जो इस तरीके से इस नॉलेज को अवेकन करने में परफेक्शन पा लेता है, राइट, वन हु इज एबल टू अवेकन दिस नॉलेज, है ना, व्हाट विल हैपन? ही विल एबल टू कालेन आत्मनि विन्दति. विन्दति मीन्स एंजॉय, एंड कालेन मीन्स व्हाट? इन द ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ टाइम ना, कुछ समय में वो क्या होगा? आत्मनि. आत्मनि मीन्स अपने आप में ना, वन विल बी एबल टू डिराइव हैप्पीनेस, joy within oneself, which means what? One who will be able to awaken this knowledge in due course of time, he will be able to feel great bliss in one's own life, right? How it is? It is very simple, because see, the bliss is already there in the Atma. So right now, because we are covered with so many contaminations, we are covered with many false egos, wrong conceptions, wrong identifications, because of which we are not able to access the happiness of the soul. But as one will be awakened in the knowledge and the realization of the Atma and the Paramatma, then what will happen? Then one will be able to experience or access the happiness of the soul. One will understand that how the external things are not of much matter, The more important is the Atma, and one will be able to derive happiness, the joy of the Atma. By serving Krishna, one will be able to derive the joy, But it is going to happen how? It will happen kalena. It is going to happen in due course of time. So this is what Krishna is telling. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as the transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the measure fruit of the, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of this knowledge enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Right? See, Shri Vishnu Chakravarti is also telling this. In this world, there is nothing as pure as knowledge. After some time, it is attained of itself from within. So the practice of the Nishkam Karmi Yoga. Right? So यहाँ पे of course section चला है Nishkam Karmi Yoga के लिए. So if somebody will perform Nishkam Karma Yoga, then what will happen? One will get all the knowledge. The knowledge will awaken in his heart. One will be able to have the knowledge of the Atma and the Paramatma in one's heart. That's what is spoken. Right? Please read the purport.
When we speak
When
of
we speak
transcendental
of transcendental
knowledge,
knowledge, we do so in terms of understanding, spiritual understanding. As such, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Ignorance is the cause of our bondage, and knowledge is the cause of our liberation. This knowledge is the mature fruit of devotional service, and when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself. In other words, this knowledge and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. That is the last word in the Bhagavad Gita.
So this knowledge and the peace culminate, of course, Prabhupada, what will happen? He need not search for the peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself, Basically, point is one will become self-satisfied. If somebody awakens this knowledge, then what happens is one will be able to have great peace of mind. One will be able to have great happiness in one's life. That will happen, to the degree we move closer to our original nature, the nature of the soul. That's how it is being there. That's why you find, like those who are great souls, those who become purified. Even what to speak of bhakti yogas, even those who are gyan, who are performing gyan yoga or ashtanga yoga, you'll find to many degrees. Like for example, they will not have so much material hankerings. One who has come to the platform of the jnana, he also becomes sort of selflessness is there. He's also not having so much material hankerings. One becomes more peaceful and satisfied. Of course, the highest perfect peace comes only in the when one becomes Krishna Bhakta. You know that, na? Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashant. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ata Eva Shant. Those who are desiring material enjoyment, or those who desire liberation, or those who desire siddhis, mystic powers, in some way or other way, they will be having lack of peace. They will not be able to have a peaceful mind. But because the Krishna Bhakta is Nishkam, he has no material desires, his only desires to love and serve Krishna, he can become completely peaceful. This is another gift of the spiritual knowledge, that one becomes internally very, very satisfied. Right? So here one important thing to discuss is, it is told Kalena. This is very important, na? Kalena. कैसे होता है ये? It happens Kalena. It happens in the due course of time. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि इमीडिएटली हो जाता है. इट हैपेंस इन ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ टाइम. मतलब हमें लगता है इसके लिए. तो जब व्यक्ति when a person is trying to cultivate the spiritual knowledge, he's trying to follow a guru, he's trying to follow the process given by the guru, then eventually over a period of time, as he will become more and more purified, he will be able to access the joy of the Atma, the joy of the peace of the mind, the joy of the heart, right? So see, right now what happens is, initially, we are so much caught up with our bodies, with our mind. We are so much affected because we have such a strong bond in the material conception of life. We are having a very strong bond with our gross body and with our minds. So that's why we become very much affected by them. Like, kuch halka ऊपर नीचे होता है, we become very much affected. Even mentally also, somebody says us, or we don't, or some success or failure comes, material success failures, they also disturb our mind a lot. So, but when we get this knowledge, then what happens? Then we can give up our attachment to the body and the mind. And then we are able to see everything spiritually. We're able to value the things, based upon the spirit, based upon the spiritual life. And once we come to this platform, then what will happen? Then the gross and the subtle things will not, the gross and the subtle disturbances will not affect us much. And in that state, we will be able to access the happiness of the soul. But it is going to take some time. So the devotees, you should not think that, okay, today only let me just chant 64 rounds, and at the end of
मेरा फोन उठाना.
and at the end of the
जल्दी, जल्दी,
64 at the end of the and at the end of the 64 rounds, I should be able to have full experience of Krishna and spiritual world and the happiness of the soul. No, it's not going to happen that way. It's going to take time. It's a due course of time, right? It will take its own time. Just like the nature has designed different things. Like suppose you sow a seed. No, now you water it, you give him sunlight. It's going to take its own time for the seed to turn into the bird, and then and for it to turn into a plant, and then for the flowers and the fruits to come. It is going to take its own time. Same way, when we also take to the spiritual practice, then it's going to take time. It's also going to take, but it's surely going to happen in due course of time. And also the thing is that it is also susukham kartum avyayam. We can experience now also. Even little advancement we make, little spiritual advancement we make, we can feel happiness in our life. We get rid from the miseries of the life. Just like you see, one of the first symptoms is when we practice spiritual life, then what happens is we get free from these threefold miseries of life. What happens is we don't become affected by these threefold miseries so much as we become a devotee. Like right now, we don't think so much that what other people think about us. We don't become so much disturbed by whether winter is there or summer is there. Right? Sometimes, like when I'm going the train, sometimes what happens, the train gets delayed. In India, it is very common. I have seen so many people become so much frustrated because of the late time. they start talking about it कि अरे इतना लेट हो जाता है, ये हो जाता है, वो हो जाता है. They cannot absorb that. But see, we as a devotees, okay, for time late भी हो गया कोई बात नहीं है ना. We have so many things to keep ourselves occupied. We can do reading, we can do hearing, we can chant more, we can plan for our services. What happens? We don't become affected so much by them. That's the gift of the devotional service. Even from the beginning itself, we find that we are able to have much more happiness in our life. So this is very important at Kalena. That's why there is an aspect of patience. Like Sharu Goswami is also mentioned, Ustahat, Nishtayat, and Dhairyat. These three principles are very important for a practice of the yoga, bhakti yoga. One has to have an enthusiasm, one has to have a confidence, and one has to have a patience. So enthusiasm is there. Now, enthusiasm and patience, both of them looks to be like, not not क्या बोलेंगे compatible, right? Enthusiasm है, मतलब enthusiasm तो कुछ करना है, अभी immediately कुछ करना है, right? और फिर उत्साह भी, पेशेंस भी रखना है. तो भक्ति में क्या, दोनों चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है. उत्साह भी रखना है और पेशेंस क्यों रखना है, क्योंकि इमीडिएटली सब कुछ चेंज नहीं होंगी. इट विल टेक टाइम. स्पेशली भक्ति का जो पाथ है, इट्स द पाथ ऑफ ग्रेस. Why one has to be patient on the path of the bhakti? Because it's not that, you cannot demand from Krishna that, okay, Krishna, I have done so much Ekadashis, I have followed, so many days I have chanted Hare Krishna mantra, and so now you should give me this much, by this time, at least you should have given me this. Like, that Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Nishtha, right? ठीक है, मैंने 10 साल निकाल दिया, अभी निष्ठा आ जाना चाहिए था. 15 साल के बाद में पक्का रुचि हो जाना चाहिए था. 20 साल के बाद में पक्का, है ना, आसक्ति आ जाना चाहिए था. 25 साल के बाद में पक्का भाव आ जाना चाहिए था. You cannot demand from Krishna, right? Because it's the path of grace. ये कृपा का पाथ है. तो इसलिए हमें पेशेंस के साथ में आगे बढ़ते रहना चाहिए. बट हम ये पेशेंस कब रख पाएंगे? उत्साह भी रखना है, पेशेंस भी रखना है, बट पेशेंस कब रख पाएंगे? When we have confidence कि हम होंगे कामयाब, है ना. जो पाथ है, ये प्रोसेस टेस्टिफाइड प्रोसेस है, बोनाफाइड प्रोसेस है. इसको हम फॉलो करेंगे तो पक्का, एक दिन पक्का कामयाब हो पाएंगे हमारे लाइफ में. ओके. So again, just to summarize, so Krishna has told about, first, if you want to get this knowledge, we have to approach a guru, and we have to do these three things. We have to have humbleness, we have to have inquisitiveness, and we have to have service attitude. And then Krishna is mentioning that what is going to be the benefit of this knowledge? One will be able to get rid of all the illusions. Moham, punar moham. No? One will be able to get free from all the illusions, and one will be also be able to become freed from all kinds of. One will be able to have a spiritual vision. One will be able to see everything in relationship with Krishna, and also one will be able to become freed from all the karmas, from all the reactions of the work. And fourth thing is, one will be able to experience the inner joy, the inner happiness that is going to happen. Okay. Now next shlokas, Krishna is going to tell about now who can get this knowledge. Faithful people can get this knowledge, and those who are not faithful, they cannot get this knowledge. Tomorrow we'll discuss about it. Hare Krishna. If anyone is having any questions, then we can discuss. Question
Hare
or
Krishna,
any?
Guruji.
Just take a second. Yeah.
Yes,
Pushpinder, do na?
yes, Guruji.
Yes. Pushpinder, बताइए.
Guruji, like service attitude transfer from the heart of Guru to the disciple. So for that, Guruji, initiation we have to take, and simultaneously what qualifications a disciple should possess for this transfer.
Okay. You're asking that how towards a guru, what should be, okay, for getting initiation, what should be your qualification? That you're asking?
No, means first there should be initiation. After that, also what qualifications a disciple should possess, uh, so that this service attitude would be transferred from the heart of Guru to disciple.
See, this is the qualification I mentioned in this shloka, right? First is humility. Second thing is inquisitiveness. Third thing is one should have service attitude. Disciple means one who agrees to be disciplined. The qualities for a disciple are the same. One has to be humble. Humble means what? One has to understand that I need it. Just like we hear about Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. They told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, no, we don't know who we are. We are being appreciated as great pandits, but we don't know who we are and what is the goal of our life and why we are suffering in this world. So one has to have this, at least this basic knowledge one should have, that how I'm suffering in this world, and to get rid of this world, I have to take shelter of a guru. I have to follow the process given by the guru, and So see, of course, there can be a lot of qualities for a disciple, but the most important thing is that these three qualities: humility, inquisitiveness, and service attitude. And of course, many qualities can be told. One has to have a determination. One has to have a desire. सबसे foremost is the desire. One should have a desire to practice spiritual life. One should be awakened in the knowledge that yes, spiritual life is important. If you become aware about the importance of the spiritual life, then only further things will matter. Until unless the hunger is not awakened, then what will happen? Even if you have best of the foods available with you, you will never be able to take advantage of it. So, these all things are there, you know?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Fine. And anything else? Okay. We'll meet tomorrow, है ना? Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.